Hello everyone. Here in this session, we are going to cover factorial program using recursion technique. I am going to write the live code in front of you. So we are starting just by including the header file, and you know that we are just running the factorial program. So the number range can be larger. So I am using long int here and long int, and we can use any function. Let's say the name of my function is fact, and inside this function I am just using let's say n, right? So okay, we can say int n, let's say. So basically I have just declared long int function. So basically it is a function declaration. Right now we are just writing the main body code of the program, and here we can start just by writing, let's say, printf, and we can ask user to enter any number. So please enter any number for finding factorial, correct? And followed by semicolon. And you know that if we want to store it, we need to use scanf function, and using scanf function, we can store it, right? So in scan function, we can just, we know that user may enter any integer value. So it could be like %d, and here we can store it into variable n. So let's say m%n. So we can declare integer n also here, int n. So variable we are using n, we have stored here. Right now, let's write simple printf. And inside this printf, what I am going to do, I am going to declare something, let's say factorial of %d, that is any particular number, is %ld. ld is for long digit, long int, right? So first %d is nothing but n. So I am just writing here n separated by, I am just writing the name of the factorial function fact, and inside it I am just passing the value int n, that is n, right? So whatever user is going to put, it is going to pass as a parameter inside the function fact. Now this fact function is going to call, it is going to find its definition. So we need to create the definition of fact n, and for that I need to write long int and fact, and here inside that I need to write int n, and I need to declare a function like that. Inside this function, here we need to use recursion technique, right? So if we want to use recursion technique, we can simply use if else conditional statements, and we can write if n is greater than or equal to 1. In that case, we need to multiply. So what I can do, if n is greater than or equals to 1, so we can do n equals to n into the name of factorial function fact n minus 1. So I hope you are getting here an idea that what exactly I am doing. N equals to n. So n is going to assign some value, and that is nothing but n into factorial n minus 1. So you know, when we are going to call this function inside it, it is calling itself. So if function is calling itself, it is called as recursion. So we can write in the form of comment section as well, that function calling itself is called as recursion, right? And how we can justify it, that here this is the fact function, it is calling, this is a fact function we have called, and this fact function calling itself inside it, right? So if n is greater than equals to 1, it is going to call itself and going to do this kind of multiplication, and every time it is going to decrement value by 1. And in else part, we can write else return 1, correct? So let's try to run it, and you can see the output. Please enter any number for finding factorial. So let me try to put first some small integer, that is 5. So factorial of 5 is 120. You can see the output like that, right? Now, if we are going to put here line breaking so that we can see each line as a separated part, line breaking, right? So that the next output would be on the next line. Again, I am running it and they are asking, please enter any number for finding factorial. This time I am putting, let's say 101 and it is saying factorial of 101 is 0. So why it is doing so? Because it is out of the range of long and if it is out of the range of long integer, in that case what it will do, it is going to write any kind of what to say garbage value. Now let me try to run it again, and this time I am putting some smaller value, let's say 10, and you can see the output is this much. So you can assume that if for the short integer 10, we are having output like that. If I am going to run it again, and this time if I am going to put 20, you can see the output is that much long. And let's say if this time I am putting 30, you can say output is that much long. So you can assume that if I am going to put 101, the output would be out of the range of long int. That is why it is going to put garbage value, right? So you can see if I am going to run it again, and this time I am putting 51. You can see again because the range is crosses the limit of long int range. If I am going to put, let's say 41, it is again 0. It means that range is out of that. If I am going to run it again, this time I am putting 35. So it is again 0. Let me try to run it again. This time I am putting 34, right? Again it is 0. Let me try to run it again. This time I am putting 32. You can see the number is this. So after if I do it for, let's say 33, this time the number is this, and for 34 it is crosses the range of long integer. That is why it is going to give you the garbage value. So you can assume for 101 it would be that much longer, right? So we need to use the variable part. You know that here we have used long. If still we are not going to use long now, in the if the variable crosses 32,000, it is going to put the garbage value, right? So according to that, we need to use type specifiers. So this is a simple program of writing a factorial program using concept of recursion, right? So I hope it is clear to everyone. Guys, do like, subscribe, and if you are having any query or confusion, please feel free to contact us in the comment section. We are going to provide you all the solutions in very soonest part of it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.